So hello everyone. So let's solve a CSES problem, dice combinations, right? So we have to construct a sum n, and we can use the numbers from 1 to 6, right? So clearly it will have a lot of overlapping sub problems, and let's solve it by recursion. And yeah, so basically in recursion I will like to teach. I generally tend to teach with code, right? So straight jump into straight into the code, right? So as we can see, like we are just taking an input of n, right? We are just initializing a DP. You can do it after writing the recursive code. I generally prefer like that. And so basically I would like to also give you the feel of recursion while doing the dynamic programming problems, right? So generally people think that recursion and dynamic programming are two very different, and dynamic programming, tabulation and recursion are two very different topics, right? And no, there's not a very clear cut analogy. So I would like to tell you all that it's not the case, and I will give you the feel as well, right? So what I'm saying to this function, basically I'm saying to this function that listen, just tell me the answer up till n, right? Just tell me the answer with how a number of ways to make n, right? It's just telling that, right? So let's so basically now what this function does is that uh, so what this function do is basically, first we have the base case, right? So here the base case is very important to think in dynamic programming problems. So first of all, let me tell you that what was the motivation for making the base case as if n is 0 return 1. So basically let's say the number is 3, right? And you took 1, then you took 1, and then you took 1, so it became 0, right? So it, since it is a valid path, and when the n becomes 0, my function should state that, yeah, you have done all your work, so I will return 1 for you, right? So basically this is the analogy. And it is a very standard path in dynamic programming problem. And basically, and here we are initializing as answer as 0 initially. So basically, when we are in recursion, right? So we don't think that what was our initially n, like we will just solve for the n which we have right now. So we can take the numbers from 1 to 6, right? It's very pretty much clear, right? And what we will do is basically we will add count of n minus I comma dp. Now let's say, why this, so I can explain that to you. Let's say we will have n minus 1, we will have n minus 2, we will have n minus 3, we will have n minus 4, we will have n minus 5 till n is 6, right? So uh, at the end, like when the number n would have been made, let's say it would be n minus 1 initially, then you would have to take 1 in it, you have to take 2 in it, and similarly we have to take 6 in it, right? So I'm just saying that if we can count the number of ways of dp of n minus 1, it will automatically count when we have taken 1 at the last, we have taken 2 at the last, we have taken 6 at the last, right? So pretty much clear, right? And why we have not adding, like why we are not adding count plus 1? So why, generally this doubt comes to the beginners, right? Why we are not adding 1? So I would like to tell you that we are not adding 1 uh, because look, n minus 1 will alone cannot give you the answer, right? You have to use this one, right? This one, like without this one, this n minus 1 is like of no use, right? So that's why we are not adding that one over here, right? We are not adding that. Okay, we have taken 2 also, so we will add 1, right? So I hope guys you got the logic behind it, why we are just doing the addition like this, right? And then we are just storing the answer. And yeah, so our problem, pretty straightforward, beginner friendly problem, right? So yeah, so let's just confirm it by just submitting once, right? So guys, our solution is accepted. See you in the next video.